What problem is this exactly? I really find the trying to work out and eat differently, but really need motivation, but I don't know how to get that. It's discipline, man. It's not necessarily motivation. You just decide that you're gonna do it, and then you do it. You make an honest decision with yourself that you're gonna make something happen, then you just do it. Simple as that. Hey Zephyr, hit with the flex, I appreciate love, but it's not a motivation thing. It's a discipline thing. You decide that you're gonna do it, and then you're disciplined enough to make it happen. No matter what. But you can take baby steps. Just improve every day. Just do a little bit better every day. But it does need to be part of a greater decision that you've made. That's what I would say. Once you decide to do something, like actually make the honest decision with yourself, you'd be surprised at how much motivation isn't really important, you know? It's just getting it done. You just decide that you want to make something a certain way. You make it happen for yourself. But it's that decision that's important, for sure. So about that study, although he's a deficit, wouldn't he also be storing extra fat that he didn't burn? False. Nope, that's not how it works. Nope.
Every world in our path.
Nope, there's not really any fat. Fat on your body is, all it is stored energy. If you eat a surplus of energy from food, your body will store some of that energy as body fat. If you don't give your body enough energy, your body will burn stored energy, which is body fat, to make up the difference. So no, if you ate 2,000 calories a day of crappy nutrition, like things like candy or whatever, and 2,000 calories put you in a deficit, you would lose body fat. It's not good nutrition. You probably don't feel good. Like your athletic performance is probably not great. Like things like that will probably suffer because your nutrition is not good. But in terms of just body fat loss, yeah, you'll lose body fat because you're not eating enough calories. Fat doesn't make you fat. Carbs don't make you fat. Protein doesn't build you muscle. It's like you have to have the right amount of total stuff, right? So carbohydrates are an energy source. Fat is an energy source. Protein is a building block. But in the absence of a deficit, you're not going to lose fat. In the absence of a surplus, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to build a whole lot of mass. You know what I'm saying?
The Legion has
Feel me?
my sanctuary, and my defenses will soon be overrun.
You'd be surprised at how easy it is when you don't have a 9 to 5. Yeah, I mean, you feel like you probably have a way to schedule more of your time, but I feel like that right there is also like kind of an excuse for your own self, right? You can prepare your meals at home and take them to work with you. I mean, different jobs have different requirements and stuff, but once again, if you make a decision that you're going to do something, you'll be able to do that thing. And saying, well, I have a 9 to 5, I can't do it. Sure, you can make excuses for yourself that put a barrier between you and success if you want to. You can. It's just not a thing that I would recommend doing. You're just holding yourself back making comments like that. Have any experience with keto diets? I have a command for keto. Have you been hearing what I've been talking about recently? Maybe you just joined the chat. Maybe you just joined it. But you don't need to do low carb. You need to be a deficit. If a low carb diet helps you achieve and maintain deficit, great. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Hopefully Dustin is unbanned soon. I feel like his comment wasn't really like that harsh. His timeout was a little bit longer than it should have been, I think. Let me get you freed up, cool kid Dustin. There you go, buddy. I don't know if you're still timed out or not, but now you're not timed out anymore. It was a little bit longer of a timeout than I think that deserved. It probably should have just been purged, the comment. My bad about the timeout. Yeah, I just, you know. Like I said, I don't think that you were saying anything about roids in a bad way. Or like, in like a silly way. You know what I mean? But still, probably doesn't need to be talked about too much, right? That was torture, I'm sorry. I know what you were saying, and you weren't saying it in like a, in any particular kind of way. I know what you mean. And you're not wrong, but still needs to probably, doesn't need to be talked about, I don't think. It's just easier that way. The chat gets a little bit weird in that situation. My calories are overall in a deficit, but I'm well above recommended protein and a little bit below fat. Does excess protein contribute to fat in any way? If you have higher protein than you need, then I would suggest that you drop some protein for an energy source like fat or carbohydrates. So maybe drop your protein a little bit and reach your fat goals if you're over protein. Something like that. Because as I've gotten older, I've realized that like weigh a whole lot of protein isn't necessarily weigh a whole lot more helpful. And I would actually drop protein down to like 1 gram per pound of body weight, or even 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. You can get it as low as 0.6. I don't usually go that low. But like for me, 1 gram per pound of body weight is plenty. And then I would rather keep my fats at about 20% of my calories and then put everything else into carbohydrates. Because carbohydrates make me feel good for training and help me recover as well. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do. You gotta decide, Kraken, and once you start stringing together positive activities, you're gonna find that other activities that are positive are almost easier to do. You build momentum. That's how I refer to it. Is I build momentum by doing good things. Those things become easier to do. So if you exercise for the day, you might find that it's easier to get your meals right for the day. And if you get your exercise and your meals right for the day, you might find it's easier to go to sleep at a good time. And if you go to sleep at a good time, you might find that it's easier to get up and exercise again the next day. You know, you have better energy. And if, once again, these things feed off to themselves. And if you feel, and if you're getting your diet and your exercise and your sleep, if you're nailing it, then you'll find that you feel better in general and you're more able to go after the things that you're passionate about, or even do things that you're not passionate about with it being less of a drag, you know? Positive action is going to help you create a positive mindset. Similarly, a positive mindset is going to help you create those positive actions. So momentum, right? It feeds back on itself in a positive way. That's kind of one of the ways I like to think about it, and one of the ways I like to put it into action. You feel me? That's right. That's right. Get that Tay-Tay. We're trying, man. Oh. This one right here. We will just wait right here. I don't want no trouble, dude. I don't want no trouble. Remember that thing was bugging in the beginning? That was scary. That's spooky stuff. Well, I hope some of this advice is finding a place in your minds and your hearts. Because these are the sort of things that I have learned myself by doing. And fortunately, I can sort of consolidate a few of those thoughts and share them with you guys, even while I'm just playing video games, something like that. You know, I've been having some really good days recently, and I know it's silly, but being able to train as much as I have been is making me real happy. So we kind of end up in the evening time, sometimes feeling tired, but sometimes like tonight feeling pretty good. So no, Cadron, I don't think that stuff like that is worth taking. No. Once again, what's worth taking is taking a look at your diet and being disciplined with getting yourself in a caloric deficit. Taking things that, when something says take this and you'll lose weight, it is bullshit. Or extremely dangerous.
Beware.
What is not dangerous is putting yourself in a moderate caloric deficit over a fair period of time and losing body fat naturally and slowly in a way that your body can adjust to, doesn't actually, you know, tear you up too bad, doesn't have to take away from your energy. Listen, dieting, you don't have to be tired. You don't have to be hungry all the time. You don't have to be in a bad mood all the time. All you have to do is just be in a caloric deficit. About 500 to 600 calorie deficit, you should not feel terrible doing that. Oh my goodness. Nice dogs. It's back from surgery from chill time. Glad to have you back, man. Hopefully everything went just fine. Hopefully you can recover well. Definitely glad to have you. Definitely glad to hear things went well. And definitely appreciative of that Super Saiyan 3 Ascension, man. Thank you very much, dude. Definitely a top Saiyan for the evening stream so far. Appreciate the love, man. Got room for you. This is not a viewer run right now, but I got room for you in my heart. That. You don't want those guys getting their little detonations off. There we go. There we go.
Beware.
None of that. I feel like my damage in this boss fight is always pretty bad, but I also always go for the total group, so there's that. There's that. That's just my excuse. That's just my excuse for doing bad DPS. If I weigh 255, how many calories do you think I should eat to lose weight to get back down? So, one of the best things for you to do is probably take an inventory of how much you're eating right now and slowly decrease that over time. But you might want to find out how many calories you're eating right now first. Because the cool thing about fat loss is you don't have to eat super low calories to start fat loss. Say if I'm eating 3,500 calories a day right now, and I slowly increase my calories to like 4,000 a day, I might be able to diet on like 3,200 calories a day, like in a little while. I might be able to diet on 3,000 calories a day after that, right? And I slowly decrease my calories as necessary. But as long as you're losing about a pound of fat per week, you should stay at that calorie limit. Because about a pound of fat per week is great. But it sounds silly, but you pretty much want to eat as many calories as you can while losing about a pound of fat per week. And you should lose about a pound of fat per week in a 500 to 600 calorie deficit. So if you can just hang out there at that amount of calories, then you will not be feeling bad. Your body will adjust nicely to the fat loss. You'll feel good. That's what you want. You don't have to feel terrible on a diet. There we go. Boom. Nice. Somebody got a Lego. Nice.
The Legion is cut off.
That's cool.
Reinforcements.
That's cool.
Now is the time to press
Yep.
our attack.
But once again, Pantera, just if you ever need, you probably watched the video already, but just in case you ever need a resource, you can go ahead and check out that that fat loss video. But you can get a whole bunch of different calorie calculators online. But once again, the best thing to do is try to slowly decrease your intake from where you are right now, and try to probably make better food decisions and maybe get some more exercise, something like that. Hey, Fresh Brew, hit up with the flex for 29 months in a row, man. Appreciate the love, dude. Thank you. Glad to have you, man. Did you just your hairline?